We live in a world obsessed with skills, strategies, and success metrics. And if you spend any time in the personal development space, you will find no shortage of advice on productivity, habits, mindsets, and performance. But almost nobody talks about one thing that determines whether any of these things actually lasts: character. Yes, I'm talking about character. You see, you can build the career, develop the platform, accumulate the achievements, and still find that without character as your foundation, it all eventually cracks up under pressure. Everyone wants purpose, everyone wants impact, everyone wants to lead and influence and build something meaningful. But very few people, I mean, very few people are willing to do the slow work, the unglamorous work of building the character that makes all that sustainable. Today, we are doing the work. In this video, I'm going to show you what character actually is, why it matters more than talents and strategy, and the specific practices that build character. Not overnight, but in a way that genuinely lasts. So let me start with what character is and what character is not. Character is not personality. Personality is how you naturally show up in the world. Your temperament, your energy, your social style. You were largely born with it. And it doesn't change much over time. But character is not talent either. Talent is your capacity. It is what you are naturally gifted to do. Some people are talented at speaking, some are talented at creating, at leading, at solving problems. Talent is a gift. But character is different from both of these things. Character is who you are when things are hard. It is how you behave when no one is watching. It is what you do when keeping your word is inconvenient. It is how you treat people who can do nothing for you. It is the choices you make when the cost of integrity is genuinely high. Character is built, not inherited, not discovered, but built through choices made consistently over time, especially under pressure. And that is actually good news, because it means that regardless of where you started, regardless of your past, regardless of your personality or your background, you can build character. You can develop it. You can grow it deliberately. Here is something I have observed consistently. Talent gets people to the room. Character determines whether they stay. Think about the people you know who are enormously talented or gifted, naturally brilliant, highly skilled, deeply talented, but who somehow still fell apart, whose lives or careers or relationships collapsed, often in very public or in very painful ways. And then think about people you know who weren't necessarily most gifted, but who have built lives and careers and relationships of genuine depth, stability, and impact. People whose influence grew steadily over time, who became the kind of person others genuinely trusted and respected. You see, the difference almost always comes down to character. Talent impresses, character sustains. Talent opens the door, character builds the kind of life that is worth walking through those doors for. And here is the paradox that most people miss. People who invest in character development almost always end up with more influence, more impact, and more meaningful success than people who focus purely on skills and strategies. Because Character is what makes everything else trustworthy, including you. Now, let me give you 5 qualities I believe are most foundational to strong character. These are not the only qualities that matter, but in my observation, these are the ones that most consistently produce lives of lasting impact. Number 1, integrity. You see, integrity is the alignment between what you say and what you do. Not just when it is easy, but when keeping your word costs you something. Integrity means that your character doesn't have the on and off switch. It doesn't always operate when people are watching or when the stakes are obvious. Quality number 2, courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act rightly in spite of it. You see, the courage to be honest when dishonesty would be more comfortable. The courage to take responsibility when blame shifting would be easier. The courage to stand for what you believe when the social cost of doing so is real. Quality number 3, humility. You see, through humility is not self-deprecation or weakness. It is an accurate assessment of yourself, your strength, and your limitation, without the distortion of pride or insecurity. You see, humble people are teachable, and teachable people grow. It is that simple. Quality number 4, consistency. You see, consistency is perhaps, the most underrated quality of all. You see, consistency means showing up, not just on the days when you are inspired or energized or feeling your best. No, but on the ordinary days, the days that are hard days, the days when nothing seems to be working. Consistent people compound. Every day of showing up adds to everything that came before. Quality 5, compassion. Compassion is the capacity to genuinely care about other people, their struggles, their dignity, their flourishing. Leaders of great character are not primarily driven by personal ambition. They are driven by a genuine desire to see the people around them thrive. Integrity, courage, humility, consistency, compassion. These 5 qualities, when developed together over time, produce a quality of character that the world genuinely needs. Unfortunately, very few people take time to deliberately build them. Now, let's look at how to build character practically. I'll give you practical ways to build character. Character is built in small moments, not the grand gestures, but the small ones. Here are 4 daily practices that build character over time. Practice number 1, keep the small commitments. When you say you are doing something, do it. When you make a plan, follow it. Start with the small things, because character is formed in small things. The person who is faithful in small things will be trusted with larger things. Practice number 2, choose the harder right over the easier wrong. Every day, in small ways, you will face a choice between what is convenient and what is right. A chance to cut a corner, a chance to be less than fully honest, a chance to avoid a difficult conversation. In those moments, choose the harder right. Every time you do, you add a layer to your character. Let's look at practice number 3. Reflect daily. At the end of each day, Ask yourself two questions. Where did I act in alignment with the person I am becoming today? Second question, where did I fall short? And what would I do differently? You see, this daily reflection keeps you honest, keeps you growing, keeps your character development intentional rather than accidental. Practice number 4. Choose your community carefully. You become like the people you spend the most time with. This is not a metaphor. It is a neurological and sociological reality. If you surround yourself with people of strong character, character development becomes natural. Conversely, if you surround yourself with the people of weak character, and even in your best intentions, you will face constant character erosion. Here is the connection I want to draw before we close. Character and purpose. You see, character is not separate from purpose. Character is the vessel through which purpose is expressed. Think about it this way. You might have enormous talent. You might have a clear sense of direction and calling. But if the character isn't in place, if the integrity, the consistency, the humility are not there, then your purpose will be undermined by the very person who is supposed to carry it. This is why in the Flourish framework that I teach, character is not an afterthought. It is not a nice addition to the core work. No, it is part of the foundation. You see, identity tells you who you are. Character determines whether you can be trusted with who you are becoming. And when both are in place, when you know who you are and you have built the character to match, that is when purpose stops being a search and starts being a lived reality. So I want to leave you with this. The world doesn't need more talented people. It doesn't need more ambitious people. It doesn't need more people with platforms, followings, and impressive achievements. The world needs people of character. People whose word means something. People who show up consistently. Who lead with integrity. Who choose the harder right. Who care genuinely about other people. And that is who you are capable of becoming. And this channel exists to help you to get there. So, my friend, subscribe to this channel if this has been valuable. And in the next video, in this series, we will bring everything together. Identity, clarity, character, and how they lead to a life of genuine purpose and impact. So watch other videos in this series that is coming up on the screen. The link is right there on the screen. I will see you in the next one.